Hello there. Are you new to this channel? You're very much welcome. I'm your favorite girl Ella OKC and you're welcome to Gist Central. Please subscribe and turn on post notification so you'll be notified on our next video. I don't even understand what is wrong with people. Mr. Ibu is being dragged again. It's barely months, or it's barely few weeks since he recovered, since he left the hospital, because he's been sick, which is not hidden. It's on social media, and of course the cause of his illness. So people are actually expecting him to get enough rest. People are actually expecting him not to move around. Like, I don't even understand. He turned up for Charles Okocha's housewarming party, and people have been reacting to it because they said that he's been poisoned and he's been in the hospital. So how is he able to attend such? You see, actor Charles Okocha recently called on friends and family to celebrate with him as he moves into his new home. The movie star threw a party, and socialites like Obi Kubana, fellow actor Mr. Ibu, who was in the hospital few days ago, and several friends turned up for him. In the video cited online, Okocha's mom, who was also present, rained prayers on him as she expressed joy over his latest achievement. Even Mr. Ibu, who seemed to have just been discharged from the hospital, made a special appearance which got people talking. And I understand the fact that fans are concerned. Nigerians who have expressed concern about Nollywood veteran John Okafor, which is also known as Mr. Ibu, after he joined friends and industry colleagues to celebrate with fellow actor Charles Okocha. The comic actor has continued to make public appearances to assure his fans and supporters that his health is back to normal. Recall that on May 25th, 2022, being his wedding anniversary, and yes, he's married and he's still with his wife, Mr. Ibu's wife, Stella Okafor, took to social media to announce that her husband has landed in the hospital again. This is terrible. Well, in a new video making the rounds in the online community, captured the moment Mr. Ibu arrived at the venue of Charles Okocha's housewarming ceremony as people watched. However, the actor appeared slightly different than the usual self as he was seen limping and taking measured steps. Mr. Ibu's mood appeared more relaxing when he finally made it into the house and exchanged pleasantries with other guests at the housewarming. Majority of the actor's supporters who watched the clip are worried and submitted that the actor needs to contain his public appearances and recuperate properly. Okay, I'll be reading out some of the comments for you all to hear. No need to stress him by bringing him here. He's still not well. He needs to be taken outside the country ASAP for proper medication. If una wan help am, no be to dey carry am dey come shows. And another person said Mr. Ibu needs urgent health care abroad. Others said, I guess that part shit he suffered is affecting him now. The Lord is your strength. Some said, God please give him good health. Some said, Ibu na busybody and he doesn't like to rest and he wants his enemies to know he is very much alive and that's not the best he needs to be fine for himself and family. Some said, I just love how his wife is always by his side. It's reported that few days ago, Mr. John Okafor Ibu has landed in the hospital again. That was what his wife posted on her Instagram page, which even if it's true, I think she was not supposed to post that. People will keep prognosing in his life, especially his fans. And yes, totally not a bad thing for him to attend Charles Okocha's housewarming party. He needs air, and of course, he needs people to communicate with. rather than staying in an enclosed area where he will take only medicines and injections. There are things really there are some medicine, or should I say there are cures that are beyond injections and drug. So I don't see anything bad in him trying to communicate with his fellow colleagues, because initially it's something nice. It's not as if he went to a club or somewhere bad. He just went to congratulate and celebrate his fellow colleague, which of course when you celebrate others, you also be celebrated. So I see nothing wrong in him going there. It's just all these fans that are way too concerned. They are trying to poke nose in everything. And it's not bad, to be concerned. We are never losing Mr. John Okafor. We are not losing our comic actor. And because he was poisoned for the first time, he was poisoned for the second time, and yet survived. This third time he was poisoned, definitely nothing will happen to him. And if truly he is actually in a hospital right now, definitely divine healing would locate him, as he has earlier stated that he doesn't have any other god, not the living one we serve. And of course, he hasn't hurt anyone, he hasn't wished anyone bad, so nothing will happen to him. And yes, he was clearly seen limping on his way to Charles Okocha's new house. He just recovered. Come on. I mean, his body will not be strong, but people are seeing it that still very much sick, and some are even recommending that they take him out of the country, as so many people believe that Nigeria doesn't have what it takes to treat someone who is in a very bad state. But all the best to John Okafor, because amidst his sickness, he's still very funny. And of course, you all can check out his TikTok handle, and then in the hospital bed, he's still trying to make everyone around him happy. And yes, to his beautiful wife that is always standing by him, it's a good thing. I mean, John Okafor, Mr. Ibu, is actually one of the few Nollywood actor that have actually stayed in their marriage, that their divorce was not heard. And of course, it's been years of marriage without any issue. And of course, normally there'll be issues, but he doesn't bring it to social media. He doesn't allow other people to tell him or give opinion to what he's supposed to do in the marriage. And that one thing I recommend about him. And of course, the beautiful video his daughter shared on Instagram and also on TikTok. I think Mr. John Okafor is really lucky, and he's glad to have such caring wife and of course amazing daughter. Otherwise, he's a legend. And yes, congratulations to Charles Okocha. Yeah, we all know Charles Okocha, the actor who is almost behaving like somebody that is missing from the mental hospital. But of course, he's very loved. I actually love him a lot. He's very funny, and I love how he loves his daughter. Please permit me for using that word. The way he adores his daughter is something about. Also, Charles Okocha is one of the actors that don't really give listening ears to what people have to say about him, and he does his own thing and then pretend like no one is watching. Related news: this actor Charles Okocha is seen visiting Mr. Ibu, and then because in this Mr. Ibu's fight to be healed, it wasn't heard that his colleagues, I mean those people who he worked with in the movie industry, actually came to visit him. That was when I realized that in this race of life, you have yourself alone. You've got nothing but yourself and of course your family. Because there are so many people he make movies with, and they are actually supposed to come see him and then wish him speedy recovery or thereabouts. But it was only Charles Okocha that actually turned up. On another note, I really don't blame them, because everybody have their own problem and what is giving them sleepless nights. And anyways, John Okafor, he still needs our prayers, because in as much as they've poisoned him for the first time, for the second, and also for the third, they probably won't quit until they see their downfall. You know, people, the heart is very, very wicked. So, and we don't know the area this thing is coming from. So he needs our prayers, because it's clear they want to cut him off from this world, which will never happen, because his testimony will not be in vain. One thing I know is that is actually after Mr. John Okafor, Mr. Ibu's life, will actually reap what he's sowing. Because like I tell you all every time, karma is a bitch. Aside God even fighting, karma is a real bitch, which will strike at its own time. And I also believe that all the prayers from fans, from pastors, are also going a long way for Mr. John Okafor. So guys, that is it for today. Yes, give this video a thumbs up, and I believe you've subscribed because you wouldn't want to miss out our next video. I remain your favorite girl, Ella OKC. Thank you for watching.